Good afternoon, everyone. Mayor Don Warren. We are excited to have you here with us today. We have a special announcement that will positively affect home and business owners in the city of Tyler. We want to announce that the city of Tyler has received notification from the Insurance Service Office and the State Fire Marshal's Office that there will be a change in our public protection classification. The city's current classification is Class 2. This new rating is a Class 1, the highest classification a city can receive. This takes effect on May 1st, 2021. It is a stimulus for homeowners and business owners in the city of Tyler. This rating affects the price of insurance as well as premiums. Fire Chief David Coble will give you more information on how the evaluation process works and how the city was evaluated to get this new rating.
I'm incredibly proud of our fire department for joining this elite group of fire departments in the United States. The Tyler Fire Department has a long history of being first in East Texas, if not first in the state. And we're proud of this designation we are announcing today that reflects the strength of our firefighters and our community. This is a return on investment. We opened 2 new fire stations last year after years of planning. We added 2 new fire engines to be there for citizens and businesses in their moments of crisis. We invested in our firefighters and our fire suppression system to ensure that the people and tools were there to save lives, protect property, and provide for the safety of our firefighters while they put themselves on the front lines for us. This is also a team effort of the entire staff. In addition to the Tyler Fire, I want to thank Tyler Water Utilities for their work on fire hydrants and suppression systems. They make sure those assets are operating and working properly to take the time to repair and replace them. The improvements that we have made during the past 5 years with our water quality and pressure were a major component for the improved rating, and we're grateful for our utilities crews for their dedication to the safety of our city. This effort also involves the Tyler Police Department dispatchers who receive these calls and dispatch our firefighters to respond to the calls for service. These are the unsung heroes at the end of the line, being the conduit between life and death. We also want to thank the City Council for approving these investments we wanted to make in order to provide for the residents of Tyler with the best possible fire protection for this community. The improved designation is the result of many hard decisions that they took. Thank you all for being called to serve and the spirit that you show. Now I'll turn it over to Fire Chief David Coble to give you all the details on this amazing achievement.
Thank you, sir. This is a great day for the citizens of Tyler and the city of Tyler itself. So let's talk a little bit about ISO. They evaluate the fire department's capability using a system called Fire Suppression Rating Schedule, which employs nationally accepted standards. The Fire Suppression Rating Schedule uses a scale of 10 to 1, which 1 being representing an exemplary fire department. That's what we have achieved here today. In Tyler, our evaluation occurs every 10 years. In fact, it was just about 10 years ago that Fire Chief Neil Franklin was behind the podium, and we went from a 3 to a 2, and today I'm letting you know we're moving from a 2 to the highest number possible, which is a Class 1. Key elements considered during our evaluation, which began last year. We started this really at 2019. We started planning for it, and then we started it in 2020, even during the pandemic. We hired a consultant, and we also, our liaison from the Tyler Fire Department was Assistant Chief Joey Hooten. He worked with that as a liaison, and he was that filter between the fire department and the other city departments to make sure that all the information that we needed to gather for this, the rating, we could get everything on board. What they consider the fire department's response capabilities, which include adequate staffing of fire service personnel on engine crews and ladder companies, fire station distribution, as you heard city manager say, the 2 new fire stations helped quite a bit, appropriate apparatus and equipment, fire personnel training, water supplies, the organizational structure, communication, of course, fire and police dispatch. We want to thank them for the help that they gave. And we'll talk about the percentages here in a second. And building and fire prevention codes. Believe it or not, the updating of the fire and building codes here in the city of Tyler also played a key factor in us being able to obtain this Class 1 certification, and also the enforcement of those codes. We talked about the percentage. This puts us up in the country in the top 1% of fire service organizations It's that few people that have achieved the Class 1 rating. We're also the first in Northeast Texas to achieve this class. And once you leave the Metroplex, there's no other organization going all the way to Louisiana that has achieved a Class 1 ISO rating other than Tyler Fire Department. Again, thanks to the Tyler Water Utilities. The water distribution system, meaning where the hydrants are placed, whether or not they have the ability to give us on-demand water if we have a large fire, that plays about 40% of the rating total. It's on a 100-point scale, so about 40% of it is the water department and whether that distribution system is capable of giving us what we need in order to put fires out. Also, on top of that, we were able to use GIS maps this year in order to expedite our system. So I want to thank the GIS department because they played a hand in getting maps available, those water maps and the systems available, so that it helped our rating and expedited the system. The Fire and Police Dispatch Center, the ability for the dispatchers to get the fire companies to where the incident is and doing that in a timely fashion, they play about 10% of that 100% total. The rest is made up by the fire department, 50% plus an additional 5.5 that you can gather based on community risk reduction, which is our Fire Prevention Bureau. Fire Marshal Finley, play a key role in making sure that we're top notch in that area. So what does this mean for the citizens? We talk about lowering your insurance rates. So we'll make available the letter that we received from the State Fire Marshal's office. It'll be available on our website. Again, this does not kick in until May 1st of this year, but they sent, we got a letter from the State Fire Marshal's office back in December, and that told us that we are Class 1. We knew a little bit earlier, but we could not say anything until it was absolutely, we got the letter from the State Fire Marshal. So we're telling you this today. We're announcing it, letting you know that this is up and coming. So as you renew, if your insurance, you're a homeowner or a business owner, as your insurance renews after May 1st, you want to let your insurance carrier know that we have changed public protection classification to an ISO 1, and that gives you the opportunity to get the best rate you can because that's the highest level of fire protection you can get in this city. What that number comes out to for you, it will depend on your individual agent, and your individual insurance companies will be whatever that number is. But we'll make that letter available to the public, and they'll be able to download it themselves from our website. I want to thank the citizens of Tyler for their support of the Tyler Fire Department, and thank the council and the management of this city in this ongoing support of the fire department. We could not have done this without them, and we are called to serve. And if you'll see on the side of all of our vehicles, it says "Our family serving your family," and we live by that motto day in and day out. With that, I'll turn it over. I'll be available to answer some questions later after the press conference, but I'll turn it over back to Mayor Don Warren.
Thank you again for being here. The City Council supports our fire department and police department in their ability to respond to the community that we live in. We are excited about this announcement. We look forward to the homeowners getting the benefits from this. We are grateful for all the city employees, firefighters, policemen who give their best efforts every day so our city can have a great quality of life.